Today I have the great privilege of sitting here with Lesley Slade. Lesley happens to be one of the outstanding program directors for our Be Leadership program. So in many ways it just seemed timely and appropriate that we have a conversation with Lesley on leadership and just why it is so important that we develop leaders in this accessibility realm. So Lesley, what is Be Leadership and what is its purpose?
Well, Be Leadership is a program that we have set up together at Be, specifically to address the lack of leadership development among people with disabilities. So we come together every month for 2 or 3 days, and each of those sessions has a specific topic. We start with exploring leadership. What does it mean? We go on to look at, well, what is a civil society and what's the role of leadership in that civil society? We look at economic issues in New Zealand. We look at health and education. We explore New Zealand from every facet that we can possibly imagine through a leadership and through an accessibility lens.
What opportunity does a program like Be Leadership present for New Zealanders living with disability and for all of us in New Zealand?
What we've seen is individuals start to blossom and start to find their voice and start to find their passion and start to find what they deeply care about. And so the great possibility for people who put aside the time and put aside the commitment and actually take a wee leap into the unknown, because it requires that, is that they can find new meaning in their life, in their personal life, and they can find a way to connect their personal life to their communities around them and make real difference.
Is there a place for established leaders on a program like Be Leadership?
I don't know that you ever come to a point where you're so established that you don't need any more learning, you know. In fact, I think every leader I've admired, I've ever and have met, has ever said the most important thing to them is to keep learning. You know, we have in these programs people who are real established leaders in their field, but they might want to explore how to be effective in other areas too, or how to be more effective in their own. And most of us, when we find ourselves in a leadership role, either for the first time or in a new iteration of a leadership role, we're doing things for the first time. We're doing quite difficult things. We're often doing, we're often taking action without having a great deal of support. We're often standing alone. It feels like that. It can be a very lonely place, and leaders talk about that all the time. We've got to step back sometimes and just stop doing, and step back and start imagining a different way to be in that space. And programs like this are perfect for that. They give us the space.
In my experience, Lesley, on programs like this, because you spend so much time with people over the course of a year, you actually form lifelong friendships. Is that your experience of this program?
I think it's one of the aspects of the program that is actually so wonderful. Because we recruit throughout New Zealand, and we might have people from the South Island to the tip of the North, we bring together people who otherwise would never have met each other. But suddenly, after spending that time with each other, they start to develop a real intimacy of understanding and knowledge about each other. And that's what we're noticing now. People who are stepping out into brave places in terms of leadership have the friendship of their participants to support them along the way, and everyone is delighted for everyone else's success. It's a very warm community, and I think that's a great start to a leadership journey.
So Lesley, the million-dollar question, who should apply for Be Leadership?
Anyone who wants to make a difference in New Zealand. If you're a leader or a potential leader or an existing leader and you really want to make a difference and lead New Zealand to a better place, and you want to be part of a community of leadership that cares about leading New Zealand to a better place, you should be applying for this. Everybody who wants to improve their leadership capacity should step into the unknown in terms of leadership development and build that personal courage to just explore a way they hadn't even thought of before. We often hear there's a common reason for not applying, and it is, you know, I'm too busy, I've got a job and I've got a family and I've got this. Yep, so does everyone we know. And everyone we know who wants to make a difference actually still makes the time for personal development, because if you don't make that time, nobody else is going to make it for you.